Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Gen Z Reviews. We have the pleasure of talking about George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the classic, everybody. We are not going back to 2004, I believe. That's like the newer one.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're going back to
Snyder one.
1978. This is an oldie.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's really not that old, but it feels really old. So I'm definitely I am very excited to talk about it with everybody here. I think we're going to have quite a diverse panel of thought. And I like that. That's a good thing for us. A lot of the time, we always agree with each other. I think today it might be a little different. I'm very excited because our friend Ashley here, I wanted her on this panel, especially because every time she's on the stream, she has that beautiful Dawn of the Dead poster to her left.
Yeah. So, well, that's actually, this is a little tin. And then like up here in the middle, I have the actual poster.
Oh,
So I have that next to Night of the Living Dead. So I just need Day.
Uh-huh. So that's like the big trio, right? It's
Yes,
Night of the
that
Living
is
Dead.
his Day. Oh, good grief. I can't speak. It's his trilogy. Good grief. Romero's trilogy. My God, I can't speak tonight. Sorry.
Well, you know what? I've been interested. I've been getting them all mixed up because there's so many of these like of the dead. You know, they did the remakes, and then there's other movies that other people made. It's a little confusing. And what I've been really excited about is I've seen posters for Day of the Dead, and it has zombies with guns. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, because that's when they get smart.
Okay.
Too
Yeah.
overpowering.
I think you get like a little bit of like a taste of that. Like it seems like they are starting to learn a little bit in this, but most of the time they're really dumb.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a little disappointing. I was hoping maybe we'd get a little bit more advanced here. I think, you know, going from Night of the Living Dead to this, they just feel like, to me, they feel like very different movies that have a lot of the same tones and flavors. But I have a hard time associating the two because I think the whole color, the revision, the whole shift to color and the black and white is so jarring. It's so different. It's like two totally different atmospheres because of the color. Just the color does so much to the to take away and add to the story, right? So I don't know. I'm very excited to talk to you all about it, though. If you guys are new joining us today, the way we do this, we're going to go over different generalizations about the movie, of course, and we're also going to break it down into 4 chapters today. I have 4 chapters with lots of questions and analysis for each of these chapters. In case you guys are joining us and you don't know what this movie is even about, it is, of course, a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, which was, you know, Romero's big hit, the cult classic everybody recommends if you're a zombie film buff. And this picture here, it's so weird. This image has stained my brain ever since I saw it. I don't even know why. It's such a polarizing picture. And this picture alone was my reason for being interested in even investing in this movie. I go to a local horror convention once or twice a year, and this guy usually shows up, and I always see this picture just peppered all over the place. I don't know why people are really drawn to it. It definitely caught my attention, and I'm glad we watched the movie because now I see, you know, what this even is. And it ends up being a pretty pivotal moment. But obviously that's not till the end of the movie. But here we are in the beginning of the film. We are in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, of course, and it is kind of overrunning the United States. And we follow 4 survivors who are 2 of which are SWAT officers, Roger and Peter. And the other 2 are TV station employees, Stephen and Fran. And they escape the chaos and take refuge in a massive suburban shopping mall where we spend most of the time in the film as they barricade themselves inside. They clear out the undead and they begin living a life of sort of like somewhat luxury in this mall, enjoying the stores and kind of making themselves at home with the space. However, their fragile paradise is kind of threaded by quite a few different factors that they start to forget about as they grow comfortable with the space. And hordes of zombies outside and rising tensions inside corrupt this group that have grown to become great friends and end up tearing the whole idea of a optimistic future for humanity out the window. It's really kind of sad what happens because these people sort of embody a lot of Americans' less ideal qualities, which we'll be getting to throughout this discussion. So Ashley Griffin, I know you both, or I know Ashley, I know you're a big fan. Griffin, I believe you're pretty interested in this movie too, and you're a fan of it. What is it that has drawn you guys to this so much? Why is Dawn of the Dead special? Especially for you, Ashley, because I know you are very passionate about this movie. I don't know anybody else that cares so much about this movie other than you. So let us know.
Man, you got to meet more people in the horror community.
I guess so. They're there. There's lots of them.
Well, to be fair, this was the first zombie movie I ever remember seeing. So I was 7 and we watched it on accident because it was Halloween night, 1996. So yeah, it was on HBO, and me and my friend just got back from trick-or-treating, so we put it on, and her older sister and her friends were out in the living room, and she put us in their parents' room. And she was in high school, I think, at the time, the older sister, and then me and my friend were like little kids, and she goes, just put something on and get away from us. And we're like, okay. So we were flipping through the channels, and we were looking for something like a horror movie, and yeah, this came on and scared the absolute hell out of us. And the elevator scene in it is the one that like stuck with me forever. I remember even when I was like literally just growing up. And then what was it, like, I don't know, it was like the late 2000s or maybe like 2010s, like the early 2010s, because that's when I was like in my 20s. And I could not find that movie anywhere because it was just, went off into existence. I never got the chance to buy that Blu-ray, and it was so different than Night of the Living Dead, which honestly is my favorite one. But I love Dawn because it's so different, because it was just such a jolt of not just from the coloring, from black and white to color. It was just the zombies overall. They got a little bit more, I don't know, collective, I guess you'd say, because like in Night they're all kind of just scattered, and in this one they're all kind of like swarming, and that's just like an ultimate fear for me. I'm like, no, thank you. But
Fear
yeah,
the swarm.
Yes.
Nice. What about you, Griffin? What do you think?
It's so kind of like I don't know, I have like a kind of a complicated relationship with Dawn of the Dead, because I think that I was like maybe a little, like I think I caught it a little bit too old, and I grew up more watching Zack Snyder's remake all the time on TV whenever it was on. So I just kind of didn't come around to it until I was like a little bit older, and don't think I could have, like, I think it's a movie that was so ahead of its time and really set the template of what a zombie movie is. And then when you watch all these other zombie movies that are trying to copy it and emulate it, and then you come back to the original, sometimes it just doesn't hit the same because you've seen all these copycats for all these years, even though it deserves all the credit because it's, the one. I mean, that and Night of the Living Dead, obviously. But I think I just don't connect with it as much as I otherwise would have if there was a different experience I had with it.
Are you Gen Z, Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you are. I thought you were.
I was born
I think you're on the top of the Gen Z, the Gen Z spectrum. I think you're at the top of that, 25 or something. 26.
26.
Yeah. Okay, 26. Yeah, that's probably the top. I think there's something strange, when you watch a lot of older movies, and I know I have this, and a lot of people recommend them and they want you to get excited about them. And there is just a disconnect where a lot of things just don't really affect me the way that a lot of the older Gen Xers or millennials, it affects them. It just doesn't apply. You feel that?
Yeah, then they probably that's the thing too. It's I can't experience Dawn of the Dead as if I'm a guy walking into the theater in 1978, but yeah.
What about you, War Joe? What are your thoughts?
I think honestly the zombie problem would have been solved in an afternoon.
I agree.
I'm watching the Zack Snyder one. They run. That's what made it so terrifying. This one, I think they should have added maybe double the amount of zombies, because I feel like they almost would have solved the problem just in the mall having the gun shop there. It was a great movie.
I mean, it would be easy to shoot all these guys in the head. I mean, they're just standing there the whole time.
Yeah, you have all the tools and equipment too, and You know, I think it's a really great movie though. I love the prosthetics and everything. Like when you're seeing the zombies bite people, you can obviously see now that it's, you know, a puppet and stuff like that. But back then this was something that people have never seen before.
I think that you also have to experience it, like how you guys were talking about how like older movies you feel disconnected from, because I think that, say like with me, I watched it on, you know, like a little CRTV type thing, like it's small, you can't notice how that's a dummy or something like that, so you're still kind of experiencing it, like how you said the guy that's walking into the movie theater, because you're seeing it like, oh my god, like it's kind of fuzzy and everything,
2026 gobble.
Yeah, and you're just like, well, that 4K just sharpened that up. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I saw it like that. It was a little bit better of an experience at first. You know what I mean? It stuck with me a little bit more.
Well, that's a great point. I didn't really think about that. You know, we don't have to use our imagination watching these movies at all now because everything is crystal clear, giant screen. You know, if you have your little TV, there's not really, you know, I have a CRT TV. I have, I think it's a 13-inch in my kitchen, and I've been loving watching the tapes on there. Yeah. And it does look bad. It looks bad, of course. But it's a great experience watching, you know, there's something special about it. It feels like a totally different experience. But, you know, you miss a lot on that little screen. It's so strange. So I could see how you would need to sort of just, I don't know, think outside the box to picture what's really going on, especially in those dark scenes too.
Yeah, it was, I just have always remembered like when because I have an older TV as well that I hook up my VCR to, and I'm just kind of like, how did I see this as a child? I mean, I was watching VHS like steadily until I was like 20, and then that was in 2009. I had DVDs, of course, but I didn't like upgrade until like the 2010s. So now when I rewatch a VHS, I'm like, how did I watch it? It's still fun though.
Bit of a jump right there.
Right?
I think Homer Simpson said it the best way. It's like watching TV with sand in my eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Because I was watching this on a YouTube copy, and it was like really grainy and stuff. So sometimes you really couldn't see all the prosthetics, but yeah, definitely a different experience in 4K.
You were able to watch this on YouTube?
That's what I was surprised about. I had to.
Is this another one of those public domain movies?
No, it was. I don't think it was at all.
No, they have rights issues with this one.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead is public domain, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of one mess up.
Wow.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad it is. That's pretty sweet.
Yes.
We watched it on my TV, and I told Luke, I said, this is the worst looking movie we've ever seen. It looked terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty rough
on the screen. It was it was so bad that we saw big pixels in like the darker scenes.
Yeah.
Big pixels, tons of them.
And it didn't even look vintage, you know, it just looked bad. It looked like it was buffering the whole time.
It wasn't like a vintage thing.
Terrible.
And it was Amazon. This isn't like something, you know, we're not pirating it or anything. This is Amazon Prime. You know, we rented it at $5 to rent, and it looks like that. I couldn't believe it. Night of the Living Dead looked better than this.
Yeah, well, it's black and white too, so.
Yeah,
but why does it? Because it definitely holds up today, and it looks crystal clear in black and white. How come today in color it doesn't look as good?
It's just,
that's weird.
Is that what doing on recording on film versus digital? Is there a difference between that?
I mean, there is, and it's kind of like, okay, so like when you upgrade to like when you do a 4K transfer and stuff like that, it's going to bring out certain things more so. Like you're going to get more of the grain, obviously, that film typically has. And some people who do restorations will like get rid of the grain, that's why so many people complain about Terminator 2, like anything James Cameron besides the Avatar movies, he is upgraded to 4K. They're just bitching about him because they're just like, why did you get rid of the grain? Whatever. But on my 4K that I own from Second Sight, because I don't have that box that's like this big. I have the little guy. Because I was like, I'm not spending $500 on that. Sorry. It looks incredible on 4K. So that's
This Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have.
Man,
watched
we
on
should
4K.
invest.
Yeah.
Let's get the $500 copy. Luke, you'll buy it.
No.
Yeah, forget pizza. Well,
No more pizza.
Don't do that.
We won't get pizza every week. We'll just
work on the quality.
collect all the money and buy the $500 copy. Yeah, that sounds good. Nice. Well, here, let's go on over to the very first chapter. Might as well. This is. I think this is my favorite sequence in the entire movie. Is this opening sequence about 20 minutes into the movie? The film, it opens like right into chaos. I was really surprised. Right when we played the movie, it just started. It was like, whoa, crap! There wasn't like a bunch of credits. There wasn't the typical logo and the experience. It's like it just opened right into the action. So I respected that. But here we are. A lot's going on. This television station we're just kind of thrown into is struggling to broadcast as the zombie outbreak spirals out of control. And the newly acquainted team of unlikely friends flee Philadelphia in a helicopter after a disastrous SWAT raid on a housing project goes belly up. And attempting to escape the epidemic, they fly over a ruined countryside filled with the dead. Now, what I was kind of surprised about, and I think it was sort of a perplexing introduction to the story, was how poorly the broadcast station was handling this event. You have this guy on the broadcast who is telling people the facts, the cold hard facts that, there is something very serious going on. It's a growing concern, and really kind of revealing how hopeless everything is. And the TV station crew members are completely disruptive. They're obnoxious while the specialist is speaking. And, they kind of almost throw him off the air. And I'm kind of wondering, why do you think everybody was so disruptive and acting in this such way while this guy is trying to help the world out by sharing this crucial news to everybody?
Fear. Total fear. Because it's one thing if you're watching this on the TV set and it's not happening right outside your door. This is happening right in their city. So, yeah, the experts speaking and everything like that, but still, they're just overcome with this amount of fear that they don't know how to grasp it and trying to figure these things out for themselves, I think.
Yeah. And trying to control the chaos, basically, because, the media likes to control everything. They do it now. But it's kind of like you have the fear, like Joe said, and you're trying to control that fear. And he's saying this, and so it's going to send these people off into just panic mode, and then they're trying to like argue with, oh, calm down, like it's not, it's basically they were trying to make it not so serious, like, oh, it's just fine, people eating each other, just another day in the neighborhood.
Another Tuesday.
Yeah.
Has the zombie, like, I might have missed this, did they explain how far it's stretched in America? Because it seems like it was almost like an isolated incident, like the zombie uprising is just beginning.
I don't recall them saying it, but I don't think we've actually seen a movie that starts day one where everything happens, because if you did, the bite alone is not going to make this, a global thing within a few hours. It has to be like, I don't know, like a gas or something that blows up and then the city is completely taken over by it, because they have to start off midway through, because think about how long it would take for just like on your own like town or block. How long would it take for, okay, someone's a zombie? How long until they infect the entire town before someone kills it?
Yeah, realistically, that is a slow process. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be in Florida. It would be over in an afternoon. Like we'd be fine.
Well, do you think because it's a sequel, it's a Night of the Living Dead? Because it wasn't it a meteor or something that came down and turned them into zombies? That's what.
I think
like
so,
not. Yeah. So maybe how it just like goes right in, because it's kind of, to me, it's just immediately just following everything that happened in Night of the Living Dead type. It's not revisiting it and being like, oh, this is this, that, and the other. It's kind of just throwing you back in. So maybe since it's in a different city, maybe it's one of the, how the meteor is flying through the freaking air. Maybe this is like one of the cities it went through, and it just, I don't know. There could have been a different explanation, but that was the only thing I was thinking of as soon as you said that. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I don't think they go into like the lore and explanation as to where we are, how much time has passed. And all the characters that we follow in the first movie, they all die, right? I think all of them are dead.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so this is a totally new batch. There really isn't any carryover, except, the zombies act pretty much the same.
Is this actually a direct... I know, obviously, Night and Day, it's a sequel of it in the trilogy, but does it take place at the same time?
I feel like they're very vague about that because there's just no overlap, and you can kind of just like pick and choose what you choose to like carry over from Night of the Living Dead. I mean, I kind of just accepted like when the movie started that like we're just thrown back into this world, and this is when like things are really going down, and now we're like in the heat of like societal collapse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's kind of exciting about the first 20 minutes, which I wish we would have spent more time in this, which, I think the best example of what I'm about to ask comes from the SWAT scene where they raid that house. It's like a halfway house, or it's like a housing project raid. And it's just totally like that is an absolute shocker. When that happened in the beginning of the movie, that totally caught my attention. I was kind of like, man, and then like, whoa, crap. Like,
so
man,
out of
it's
pocket.
getting real. It's out of pocket, totally out of pocket. So I'm kind of wondering what you guys think, maybe tying it to that housing project raid scene or other moments in this opening introduction. How do you think Romero establishes the theme that society has already broken even before the full zombie takeover has happened?
It shows the measures that these people will go to handle this situation. Some will act out crazy, like was that the SWAT that was shoot? Yeah, it just shows how crazy it can make you in situations like this. Some will cower, some will act out like insane and like with insanity, like these guys. That's just I'm pretty sure that's what was going through the SWAT's mind. And who was it that was like trying to stop him? Was that
that was Roger?
That was Roger. Okay.
Yeah, one of our heroes.
Mm.
Yeah, he was trying to stop him, but didn't really have very much luck. And he was like the only one trying to stop him too,
Mm-hmm.
which I think tells you something.
Mm. Yeah.
I thought it was really cool, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever seen a group of people worse at their jobs ever. Like that one guy that just stared at the zombie and then fell on the ground and that was crawling away. It's like, what is happening here? Some of the choreography in this is it's almost silly at times. There's a scene later on where a guy's swinging a hammer at a zombie and he doesn't get the hammer. He just throws his entire arm into the punch.
Yeah.
I understand we have to, make it seem like the zombies that are walking are a threat, but can we at least do something a little bit different?
We all questioned that when it happened. It was like, what was the purpose?
Yeah.
Did he trip? Or, I mean,
he had to have. There has to be a comedic angle here. There is no doubt there is. I mean, come on. Later in the movie, one of the dumb bikers gets his blood pressure taken while all the zombies are around him, and then
Actually,
of course
I
that's
interviewed
like a
that guy.
joke. Oh, you did?
Yeah, Tony Bubo's his name. I interviewed him for school like 5 years ago, and I talked to him about making Dawn of the Dead, and like he was telling me. So I was like, "You're the blood pressure guy."
Hey, at least that's recognizable from like a side character, right? Like you remember that.
He said he signed a lot of those pictures. I guess he was a producer too on the movie, but
That's
yeah,
cool.
he was nice.
Well, Joe, I think you said it. I think part of like the disruption and like the teardown of the social order is that, I felt like this movie was sort of a commentary on institutions being ill prepared, right? You have really nobody did their job well. Like you saw these SWAT members, none of them knew what they were doing. Like it seems pretty simple to just kill these zombies, and they were really just totally useless here. And then you have some of these guys that are acting totally inappropriate, like the main guy who is on a killing spree with no mercy, no thought. He's just a total savage, and nobody is stopping him. I mean, really, it's just Roger that's trying to do something, trying to save the poor people that he's murdering on the spot. And you know what? If all these guys were, on the same page, if they followed their protocols, of course they would apprehend this madman immediately. But no, he went on busting these doors down and then popping poor civilians right in the face with his shotgun. It's insane. So I feel like that was a good step towards like understanding that. And, we see that, this film, it doesn't really feature too many other positive examples of, government interference with these, with this catastrophe. We don't see any military men or National Guard men coming to save the day. And, this was sort of the showcase of where the military or where the law enforcement is with dealing with this issue. And you saw it's hopeless. There's no hope. And nobody really has any clue what they're doing. I think that's just as far as it goes with that. And I think it's also, you sort of see, Luke was kind of alluding to it, that this is sort of, everybody is in sort of like survival mode, survival of the fittest, kind of whoever, it's all about yourself at this point, right? You don't really, once that veil has been torn, that, safety and security is no longer, of trust, then people just go into total jungle law. And you see all these people here, and it's a hotel of normal people that have zombies in there, and none of them really know what to do. And we have a strange interaction with a priest who's not acting priestly, and you just kind of see how everybody sort of lost their marbles here. I think that would definitely be the case. And I think that's something that's kind of funny about like where we are with UFOs. It would be kind of funny if we got to a point where there's something so damning that it could literally tear everybody apart and cause people to act in such an erratic way like this. Maybe there's a truth in there. I don't know, but I feel like this is kind of a respectable attempt to show what that would look like, the teardown of social order from a big reveal such as, the zombie epidemic.
I mean, that's a good point. Anything can happen. I mean, these guys didn't see this coming. It just kind of just happened, So, I mean,
I like too that they showcase like the irrationality and just like how quickly when the chips are down, just like things turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they turn so far too, like this dude, I mean, that guy with the mustache, obviously he's like pretty messed up, but man, you couldn't expect that he'd turn out the way he did. I mean, he was like a monster in here. And something I really loved about this entire sequence, I kept trying to find a decent photo. There's just, you know what? I need your 4K copy, because I tried to get pictures and I could not take a decent picture for the life of me. I wanted a photo of these SWAT raiders. They look like horror villains. My gosh, they look utterly terrifying. And these are like, two of these dudes are our main heroes who do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to, leading the pack later on. And when we first are introduced to Peter, who's a very important leader of the club, he is utterly terrified. You see him towering over Roger, and he's wearing his gas mask and this horrifying sort of, SWAT suit. It's not even SWAT. It's very like ambiguous. You don't know if this is like a group that is, friendly or foe. And he's definitely presented as like as an antagonist at first. He looks terrifying as he stands towering over Roger, who we know is good. And obviously he's not a bad guy, but a lot of these dudes we're introduced to in this beginning, you're not really sure who's good and who's bad. And I thought that was pretty clever, showing that, this is sort of like an even playing ground and nobody necessarily is good. And even, following these characters throughout the rest of the movie, I don't really think a lot of these characters we consider to be our heroes are actually that admirable at the end of the day. You just get a few remnants of, or you get a few kind of light examples of humanity and heroism, but most of the time it's kind of dog eat dog world. So, and I think that would just be the case for a lot of people living in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts on this sequence before we keep going?
No, I think it's just like you said, a very accurate description of what would actually happen in a situation like this. And yeah, we would try to have some law and order, but we will of course have the people that are like, no, I'm just gonna. I mean, your brain is broken seeing some of these things too. It almost reminds me of that scene from a Platoon when they're having that nighttime battle. And I forgot the name of the guy, Tom Berenger, whatever his name, where he goes crazy and he starts attacking his own people. It's like, yeah, that's what happens when the brain breaks. You just go off and do whatever. And it's all justified to you.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. And it really brings out character. Like catastrophe happens within minutes, however this started. It really brings out the characters and everybody. Like, it shows who's selfish and who's not, who will be sacrificial, who will throw people under the bus. That big guy with the gas mask, he was, obviously the selfish ones who doesn't care about anyone but himself. And
but who knows? That could have been the teddy bear of the group, the nicest guy you've ever met. Before that happened. So you're right. Yeah, when you see something like that, you get to see, yes, who you might really be, but also what happens when your brain just takes over.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that, like, in general, characters and people in this film take the zombie epidemic seriously? Or is it like more of a joke? I feel like we get a little bit of both.
I take it as a joke. I mean, when you have zombies walking slower than a snail, I mean, I'd be like, come on now. I just like, you shoot them 50 feet away or just throw something at them. I mean, but I don't know. That's just me.
Luke with his shield charging out at a zombie horde.
That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
What do you think, Ashley?
I think that they start to take it more seriously when they're in the mall, and then things start to deteriorate. Let's put it that way, because then they're like, "Oh, we're not so safe." But it is. I think that because we're so used to fast zombies now. That it's really hard to think of, like, how the hell was this so scary back then? Do you know what I mean? Because I remember watching Night of the Living Dead for the first time when I was a kid, and I was just like, you could literally just push him, like, get out of here with that. But
just nudge him with your arm.
Yeah, but like then you think about it, because some people, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a natural disaster before, but I've been through a gnarly earthquake, and people either just they like zone in and they're locked in, like, we're good, I got you type deal, or you just have those people that just go completely in shock and have no idea what the hell like to do. They just clam up, basically, kind of like how some of the people in that the apartment scene, and then you see some of it in the mall as well, especially with the woman. After, like, a couple of times I'm like, you're painting me. I'm a woman. Like,
gosh,
it's like,
she's
I get
the worst.
But come on now. Yeah.
I was waiting. I was begging.
I was gonna say, you've been
zombies
waiting
to eat her alive.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, really quick. The fact that they're walking so slow. You remember in the beginning of the movie when that guy had like that medieval weapon with like the ball?
Yes.
I mean, what's so hard
Volunteers?
about just walking up to a big group of them, just swinging around, crushing all their heads, skulls, and I mean, it just so many different ways to just
It's
resolve
weird
this
that they
problem.
don't think about, like, come on, it's not that complicated.
Also, if
people.
you're
Like, the
running full
military,
speed-
dispatch the military. They're all very slow. And Ashley, you're mentioning how they are more swarming, but really they're not that. Like, there's tons of those zombies in the mall, and they don't really swarm that much. It seems a little empty. It feels like you could have 5 times more zombies, and then it's more of a threat. Then you can buy the slow zombie approach. But it was a little hollow. It was better than Night of the Living Dead. You're right, because there's a zombie, and then there's like 20 feet away, there's another zombie, and they're all super slow.
It was mainly the scene when they're trying to get back into that department store, and then you have all of them on you while they're trying to get in, and then when they get into the car and everything, and they're finally, it's like they finally come in type deal. I mean, it takes them a while because, you know, when you get those scenes of them just out in the mall and they're all kind of spread out like in Night of the Living Dead, but also at the same time, you kind of have to think, okay, they really didn't have special effects back then, so they can't add people and they can't really afford the people, the extras. So they're just like, because I mean, even the guy who did the special, well, the makeup effects, he's in the movie. He was supposed to be in.
Oh wait, is that Tom Savini? Is that
yeah. He was supposed to do Night of the Living Dead, but he got drafted into Vietnam. So then when he made this one, he called him back and was just like, yeah, you can do this now. So that's why some of the scenes are more realistic in the sense of like, you know, when you have the head exploding in the apartment and stuff like that. He's like, well, since I've seen that, I wanted to make it as realistic as I possibly could because I've seen people's head explode.
Man,
damn, dude.
So that's real. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think
Do you guys think? Oh wait, what? Joe?
I think it's a little bit difficult watching this in 2026 and then comparing it back then. Because I remember when we talked about Night of the Living Dead, I mentioned how when my grandmother saw this in a drive-in theater, the scene where they're, you know, after the car explodes and the zombies are eating the dead bodies, she was vomiting profusely. You know, that's nothing compared to like the things that we've seen on the internet, let alone the past week. So I do wonder, maybe like is Wilkie in the chat, because he probably saw this when this came out in theaters. So I wonder like, you know, when people saw this movie live, it was like, wow, this was horrific thing ever.
Yeah, Wilkie's.
I think he was only 2, so
okay.
I don't know. He could
didn't
have
see
been
this.
in his diaper.
He wasn't on a date.
You know, parenting back then was different. They probably brought to the kids to see that.
He saw Night of the Living Dead in the drive-in, and he's 40 years old.
He wasn't even born.
We love you, Wilkie.
Oh yeah, we love you, Wilkie. That's good. Do you guys think that this movie could have played off better if it was in black and white? If they just kept that going? Okay.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Why didn't they? Because it came out after Nights. Like, what? It looks so good in black and white, and it was made for black and white. And when I was watching in color, it's like I don't really see why you would make the change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Argento had a lot to do with that too. The Italian Dario Argento, the director that made the unofficial sequel to this movie called Zombie.
Oh.
And it's because if you watch his movies and then you watch this one, there, especially the opening scene, you know how she's like laying against that red room thing, whatever the hell she's in.
Yeah.
I was watching that and I've seen about 5-6 of his movies now, and I'm like, that just looks like a Dario Argento scene because he loves like pops of color like that. So I'm like, did he convince him? Like, don't do it black and white, do it in color. You know what I mean?
We can definitely see that.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong.
What do you think?
That's like the good thing with black and white is you could honestly hide a lot of flaws in like textures and colors, like especially with blood, you know, stuff like that. It's just a lot easier to kind of hide some of the flaws with that.
It's weird how it creates like a totally different atmosphere too. You know, I feel it feels like you're watching more of a movie almost when it's black and white because it's such a different experience. You know, there's nothing really familiar about it. And, you know, with this being such a like awful, chaotic, terrifying environment and, you know, series of events, you know, the black and white, it being so dark and disturbing, you know, those colors, the lack of color is comfort, you know, and just having those sterile white and black and grays, that just, it kind of keeps you on edge the whole time. And like you said, it hides things. The zombies, you can take them so much more seriously in the black and white. And I think like once we saw them in the color,
level of immersion to it sometimes. Like it can be like black and white could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, look at Spider Noir. They had the black and white version and the color version for that.
Yes.
The black and whites, it's really taken off, it seems.
Yeah, bring it back.
That is nice. Well, have you? So I'm assuming you guys haven't watched Day of the Dead then.
No, we'll watch that in the future.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Stranger Things?
No.
Season 3 in specific.
Wow, none of us.
Is it fair to say I watched the remake?
I watched like the first couple seasons.
Okay, because in season 3, they walk into a movie theater and it's like they're sneaking him in, and they sit down to watch it, and that opening scene, you're just, oh shit, they're watching Day of the Dead. When you watch Day of the Dead and how much like the effects had gotten better since the 70s to, I think it was 85 is when Day of the Dead came out, or 86, whatever year. It's one of those. I wasn't born yet. Let's put it that way. But because there were so many horror movies that had come out between that span, and you had so many slashers that it was just like everything was amplified. Like, oh, blood actually looks like real blood. And when you see a man get ripped into pieces in Day of the Dead, you're just like, that looks like somebody's insides, not like chunks like how in this movie.
That scene ruined my life, the Day of the Dead scene, because I saw it on a YouTube like compilation of like horror movie deaths or something, and that like ruined my night when I was like 10. Like I was on the family computer like watching stuff. Like,
what scene? What happens?
It's the ripping apart scene.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Like,
yeah.
Like one of the only things too. Like
it was well deserved. That guy is actually quite a shithead in that movie.
Yeah. They'd all feast.
Poor bastard. Here, let's get to the chats real quick. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you all very much. And our friend Mega Spidey-Man for €2. Thanks again, Mega. Appreciate it. Fave zombie films and why? Favorite Jim Henson films?
28 Days Later is easily my favorite.
Good choice. That's
Zack Snyder, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, me too. That's what I grew up on, so I have to give that.
The first time seeing the zombies, because the problem is I saw this in theaters with my friends though. Before that, we watched like a series of zombie movies, and it was like, oh, slow moving zombies. As soon as they sprinted, it was like, oh, this is actually a serious thing now.
Yeah, and their eyes, like
Yeah.
the context they use in that movie are just terrifying.
Because obviously, whenever I watch a movie now, I'm like, you know what? I think I would survive in this type of environment. Like I was watching The Grey. I'm like, you know what? I'll just set the biggest forest fire the world's ever seen, and they would find me in an hour. There's a movie where a guy gets swallowed by a sperm whale. I'm like, I would just be completely fine. I don't think I could do running zombies.
No, screw that.
No, I can't do that.
That beginning scene of the remake, like, instantly hooked me in when I saw it on TV.
It's great. It's one of the best.
And this is Zack Snyder. He did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
back when Zack Snyder was the best director of all human history. He's kind of dropped off a little bit though, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Jim Henson film? You know what? I had a great time with Dark Crystal. I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
You hated Dark Crystal. Didn't we do Dark Crystal last week?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell him. That's what
I hated it. Well, you know what's funny? It's aged well. Like sometimes these things, like we'll talk about it here, and then I think about it.
It was a week ago.
I know. Well, it's aged well. It's aged like fine wine. I'm not kidding. I wasn't just saying things.
We spent an hour crapping on the main character.
I wasn't. I still liked the movie. I respected it. I didn't dislike it. I was like, I was in the middle. Now I like it. Now I think it's good.
Yeah, earlier today I asked him, or I told him, I was like, I hope this movie is nothing like last week's movie. He's like, what? I love Dark Crystal. I'm like, it's not what I heard. It's not what I remember.
No Cabin in the Woods.
Gosh.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods is okay. Let's try not to talk
that
about
one. You have to give that one another watch.
I enjoyed.
You don't like Cabin in the Woods?
I know, right?
I don't know. Listen. The first time I watched that, hated it. Hated that movie because it just pissed me off. I was like, what is all this? Like, stop putting everything into it. But I've watched it 3 times since then, and now I love it.
Man,
it's
I feel like that's a movie that like was probably so jarring because the people who went to go see it definitely didn't expect it to be what it was.
Yeah, I was like 21, 22 when that movie came out. I remember going to the theater and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I was like, oh, that's Thor. What is he doing in here?
It had a great cast. I gotta give it to him. Yeah.
Terrible. Here, I want to show everybody something real quick. Because, Griffin, you mentioned 28 Days Later. This is my crown jewel. I have a 28 Days Later VHS sealed.
That's a rare find.
Isn't that sweet?
VHS.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. That's one of
I'd be
my
mad if I opened
prized
it.
possessions. Yes, I'd be very mad.
Is
very
it the blue
mad.
tape?
Hey, look at this, Jackson. Want to watch this
Blue
tonight?
tape? No, I don't have any blue tape.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
apparently there were some blue tapes. Well, when it was like at first.
Oh, actually, well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Oh no,
Don't
no,
open
it's
it. Don't
black.
be
It's
doing that.
black. It's
Don't
black
open
on
that.
the bottom.
Do it.
Yeah, I got that one. That wasn't even that much. It was $50, so that wasn't too bad.
That's not bad
But
for
no.
a sealed one for sure.
I know.
That's
yeah.
pretty good. That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Hey, our friend Proctor is here. What's up, Procto?
Hey, Procto.
Good evening, folks.
Hello.
How's everyone doing tonight? We're doing good, man.
Good.
We're doing good. Oh, look at that. He says I'm being very polite. Thank you, Proctor. I try to be polite when I can. OG1 Gryffindor JP. Hi, you guys.
I like
Is that a friend
name.
of yours, Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. He must be a big
no,
fan
I
of
don't
yours
know
because
him.
his name's Griffin. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know him.
No.
Oh, I bet. How y'all
Ironic.
doing? We're doing good, man. Thanks for joining us. We
Hey,
appreciate you.
Gryffindor.
Let's see here. Oh, our friend Canyon's here. What's up, Tristan? Long
What's up,
time no
Tristan?
see. Haven't had you in the chat in a while. Welcome back. I wonder what light he's talking about. Who's light?
He's talking
Maybe-
about Griffin. It's
Oh.
Griffin Light.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Username.
He's glazing you up. Nice.
Great terminology, man.
Ian Morris. So what's up, Ian? Let's get a black
Ian.
and white live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie to pay tribute to the original Mirage comic. Okay,
would be
that
cool.
That'd
could
be so badass. Or the Last Ronin.
They're making The Last
adaptation
Ronin.
would be so cool in
That-
black and white.
They need to do that. Live action, black and white. Oh, I guess they're making a game for it.
For what?
No, they're making a movie of it.
Teenage
Wait, is it a
Mutant Ninja
movie or a
They
Turtles.
game?
canceled the movie. It was
it's a
it was
movie.
gonna be like a rated R, like badass.
Mm.
That'd
But
be
then it
so
got
cool.
canceled because they want to do a kids friendly reboot for live action.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not good. But the problem
That's
with
a
black
shame.
and white is that it has to be made for black and white. It can't just be we'll put a color
Yeah.
filter over. Like
Yeah.
I think I read in the old days of it, the women used to wear blue lipstick because it would
Oof.
show off the gray in a certain way that red wouldn't.
Hmm.
So it's not about just putting the filter on it. It actually has to be done for it, and that's why as much as I like Spider Noir, I felt like black and white didn't really do it the justice it could have done.
Was it just one of those like post converted type like things?
It looks like a yes.
Man.
Ian, this is an interesting fact about the movie. There's a documentary called Raiders about a group of high school kids who did a shot-for-shot remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark. One of their uncles who helped with effects was a zombie in this film. How do you know that? One of their uncles who helped with the effects was a zombie in this film. That is niche.
Ian knows
It's not
everything.
even these kids. Oh, that's
The wealth
funny.
of knowledge that Ian comes on when he comes on these panels. Like, how do you know everything?
Yeah, that's the question.
Ian, make more videos.
Yes, we love
Hmm.
Ian. We'll have Ian again soon, hopefully. Here, let's go on to the chapter 2, where the group finally discovers a massive suburban shopping mall and decides to make it their home. And, through this, they clear out the zombies, they barricade the entrances, and they begin looting stores for supplies, food, clothes, and entertainment. For a while, they enjoy a surreal consumerist paradise until Roger gets bit by hungry zombies, which, ends up being a pretty big problem for the group and really shifts a lot of the tone for the rest of the movie. Why do you think George Romero decided to keep the story primarily stuck in this mall? Why not venture outward and go to different locations? Why do we spend so much time in this mall, do you think?
They wanted to. Sorry, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say just like the psychological aspect of it. Of hey, we're safe, and then a couple days later, oh, what the hell do we do with ourselves? And then by the end of it, it's just the cabin fever is just starting to tear these people apart. And then it's like, oh, we still have literally the zombies outside that want to tear us apart.
There's a lot of levels.
Yeah, I remember hearing though that there was a thing about consumerism, especially during that time, and they're trying to do
Yeah.
speak on that or whatever.
I'm a big
Yeah,
consumer.
that's how I've always viewed it.
I think that's
Well, they
dumb.
just mindlessly just go back to the mall because that's like what they remember.
Especially the girl character. Is that what you're saying? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've heard that too. I kind of see that. I think it's because like the consumerist angle comes from, their like comfort received from the ability to, enjoy all of these products. Like that brings them comfort and safety when there isn't security from the law or the government. They kind of have like an internal security by being enraptured by all of these great products that they couldn't have obtained before because they couldn't afford everything. Now they have a huge surplus of goods at their disposal. I think you also made a good point. I think that was World War Joe about the, how there's like, there's layers to this, which I think is pretty interesting. It's not just, it's not just a big environment that keeps you safe from the outdoors. It's there. At first, it's kind of a hostile environment, and then they start to settle in, and they get really comfortable and end up just enjoying all of the great products and merchandise that's there that they wouldn't normally get to enjoy. And then that costs them, though. That's when Roger gets bit. They get too comfortable and cocky and kind of, treat the place like their home, even though this environment is still very dangerous with all of these slow zombies, prancing around. And that's what happened. And, it's also what I notice is it's a great environment because it's very recognizable, and people like outside forces are going to be drawn to it, of course, because, grocery stores obviously are going to be raided, and, department stores and such. And then you got this mall here. Like, why wouldn't it be raided? It's the perfect opportunity to get, external variables involved here and kind of break up this, to break up our group a little bit. And, the raiders we get, that's just the start of the story. I mean, if these guys stayed at the mall, it would have just been somebody else and then somebody else. I think a lot of people would be involved with this mall if they had stick around a little longer. Mm-hmm. But I felt like an opportunity to make this situation a little more interesting in the mall would be if they got there and there were already people camping out and staking claim. That could have been very interesting. And I felt like when they entered the mall, it wasn't really it was hostile, but it wasn't really all that hostile because they pretty much dealt with the zombie situation quickly. That didn't really take too much effort. And then from there, they were just kind of enjoying the space. Imagine how crazy it would have been if there was already civilians kind of like them who had their own motives, taking charge of some of the area. And maybe they have to share resources. Maybe there's backstabbing. I think there could have been a lot of potential here. And I would not mind seeing this presented in like a TV show or like another movie where you could kind of play on that angle and explore
like the paranoia.
Well,
yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They had that's kind of what happened in the sequel for those that have seen it, right?
Yes, I was just going to say the Zack Snyder one does exactly that, where the main characters get to the mall and security is already there and they've already locked them all down. They have guns drawn. It's okay. You guys stay at your side of the mall. We stay at our side of the mall, and that's it. So it's like he saw this one and said, you know what?
That security guard was an awful person.
I mean, maybe he was the nicest guy before this happened.
That's true, but he was ready to. He was just
he was too ready.
Yeah.
He was way too ready to pull that trigger.
I think he's a known actor. Who was that? If you don't know by hand right now, we can just move on. But
he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Is he your favorite actor, Luke?
He's top favorite. Didn't he play Trevor in GTA 5? Or am I just?
Yeah. Yes, I think it is.
Yeah, that is him. Okay, yeah.
If it's not
his
name,
really isn't his name? Well, the GTA character is his name Simon, or is the actor's name Simon?
No, Trevor.
Okay, so I think the guy's Simon something. Somebody in chat might know.
Security guard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was in House of Cards. I know that.
Oh, okay. He was also in
Netflix.
Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, or he was in one of those two. I can't remember, but he was pretty good. He's super tall, I guess.
Dumb question: is The Walking Dead still going on these days?
They had these
like
stupid
4
BS
spinoffs.
spinoffs. Yeah,
They have like 8 spinoffs, but like the mainline show ended.
Oh, okay.
I think they're
Negan
done with the
came in.
spinoffs. I hope they're done.
Same.
It sucked.
stopped
Fear the
watching it a
Walking
while
Dead
ago.
sucked. Yeah.
I want a Lost reboot.
No, that's so
With
dumb.
an actual ending?
A
Actual
modern
ending.
Lost? You don't want a modern Lost, bro.
Just give us a Lost that
No.
makes sense at the end.
What roles? So it's like, I think it's kind of interesting because this group we follow, there's not very many characters in this movie at all. We mostly spend time with these four, and they're all pretty different. And I believe each one of them plays not exactly a significant role, but definitely a role in the storytelling. And, you know, they each have like one has more value than the other. And, you know, they all have different gifts and abilities that are somewhat employed to survive this situation. How would you define what the roles are of these characters? You know, leader, who's the crutch, who's the enforcer? You know, you can kind of define it yourself, but how would you dictate what their roles are?
I'll go. So the main, the black guy, I think he's like. I don't know his name.
Sorry,
Come on
I think
now.
his name's
I'm just
Peter.
gonna get canceled.
Yeah, his name's Peter. That black guy, it's fine.
Yeah, black guy. Yeah. Sorry, the African American. He's like the one that holds himself together. That that just makes him, lead. Just right there. He's the everyone looks up to. The one that has his head screwed on straight, which is great because he's the one that everyone relies to because he's still sane. And
Yeah.
I feel like the girl, she doesn't really serve much purpose. She's kind of
She
defiant.
complains.
She's defiant, and that never, you can't really trust somebody who's defiant. So
No.
Do you know what her purpose is? To repopulate the planet.
Is
There you
that
go.
like? Oh, that's what it is, right?
you did a wonderful
Because
job with that.
That's her only purpose. It's like because she's just a blabbering woman the whole time.
Tom
I don't care.
Savini, that was his personal input. Can you make her this way, please?
Put her this way. Just make her, just insufferable. And then we're just gonna. She's also gonna be pregnant. So here you go.
I think this is like the earliest case of an insufferable woman I've seen. I can't think of another one. Can
You need to watch some old movies because there's tons.
Okay.
Tons.
I even remember in Night of the Living Dead thinking she was pretty annoying.
Oh,
the big
Barbara.
girl.
Yeah.
Good old Barbara.
I
She
don't
was
remember
like
her being
the
annoying.
perfect person to like come across as it's not shell shocked, but it's just shocked because you're just so
Yeah.
deeply like you
Yeah.
watched your brother get eaten basically, and then you're kind of like, what the hell's going on? She's terrible, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to justify her, but
Yeah.
her being shocked, like when the main guy, when he smacks her in the face, like, get it together.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah, that didn't
sometimes
age
you
too
have
well.
to.
Did it work? I can't remember.
No, no.
No, it didn't work. Okay.
She stopped crying though. She did stop crying.
I thought that was kind of disappointing about her character. Like, obviously it's fine if she doesn't really have a role. I don't think everybody here needed to do something, but it would have been nice if she was helpful at all, at least emotionally supportive, but she wasn't. The whole time she was bringing down the morale. She was miserable. She wasn't supporting Steven, who was trying to be helpful, even though he really didn't have any skills that could, support this, support the other two guys who obviously are more skilled and have, another level of competency. At least he tried, but she wasn't even supporting him in his attempts to try. Like, geez, can you at least be nice to him? No, she does not like him. She rejects him. She talks down to him. She doesn't respect him. It's like, oh gosh.
Well, if you think about it, she's portraying a modern woman pretty accurately, because that's when they started pushing that shit, was in the 70s. Feminism.
She's
Sorry.
also pregnant too, so
Yes.
those
Well, you
hormones
gotta-
are those hormones are going.
Oh gosh, World War Joe knows this by
Oh
experience.
yeah.
Well, do you think because I've never been pregnant myself, but I've been around pregnant women, obviously. Do you think because he is such a bitch, no offense, but he really is. He can't even shoot. Like, when the one guy was just like, get out of the way, and he just does it
Yeah.
himself. And my thing is, like, she's realizing I picked this guy who can't even protect me to reproduce with. Like, come on now. I mean, I'd be bummed too. I'd be like, get me out of here. That's your purpose, please.
She kind of looked like she was into Peter, the black dude.
Yeah,
I think because he was a protector.
Probably switched up because he's actually dependable and competent.
Griffin was picking up on it too.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I was disappointed. She was definitely the crutch, didn't add anything. Yeah, I definitely think Peter was, obviously the leader. Like you said, Luke, he kept things straight. He took the leadership role too. And he was, level-headed, and he had fun with the situation, but he didn't like treat it as a joke like Roger did. I really didn't expect this guy to be this way. I recognized him watching this. He was in an episode of Seinfeld. He was in one of the episodes where Kramer goes to California, and he plays this dude that gets arrested by these cops, and I don't know what he did, but he got a call on him, and his name was like Ned Landers or something. He was really funny, total dork. And I guess he turned out to be a serial killer. That's how I knew him. So I was happy to see him in a bigger role. That's probably why
the actor turned out to be a serial killer.
Wait,
do you remember that?
Actually?
Has anybody seen that?
I've seen it. What's a hell of a memory? Did you know that fact?
Oh, I've seen it so many times over.
Or did you watch this and say, "Well, that's the guy from Seinfeld"?
Yes, he looks just like this. He just looks older, and he's more bald.
I don't know how I don't remember that episode.
You'll have to look it up. He's funny in it too. But his character here, he's interesting because I did not expect him to be like this reckless enthusiast. He's so optimistic and happy. He sort of has like this boyish charisma, perusing them all. He's so happy to be there. He kind of takes it on with optimism. And that's definitely kind of a very strange attitude to have in this situation where, America's going to crap and, zombies are taking over. There is no order at all. And everyone is sort of in, the case of survival of the fittest. Yet he has this boyish humor and he's super happy. It's nice that he adds this lighter taste to the mix, but at the same time, it's kind of disorienting. It doesn't really match or make any sense. And then like Steven's character, like you said, oh man, you know what? He's the everyman. I think that's what he's supposed to be. Like, take any guy off the street. If he's never shot a gun, he probably couldn't, bullseye a zombie 30 feet away either. Right. I mean, that's kind of asking a lot from somebody that's never shot a gun before. And, I think there's a lot of people that don't have any special gifts necessarily, or at least ones that are like particularly handy. So I could kind of see him being sort of like a, just kind of a recognizable example of who an everyman could be in this situation. If you threw me in the mix, maybe I'd be like him. I don't want to be, of course, but I see him being more of the common dude. But at the same time, like none of these characters, I felt like with Night of the Living Dead, they were all such strong, not exactly likable characters. Some of them were very likable, some weren't likable, some were really obnoxious and annoying, but at the same time you were like interested and intrigued by them. I didn't really feel that connected to this cast of characters, these four. I don't think that they really were that personable, and I don't think they left that much of an impression for me, at least. Did you guys get that feeling watching these characters? Did they leave a real impression on you at all?
No.
Peter did.
Not as much as
Not
Night
really
of the Living Dead.
Compared to Night, you could think about like, okay, there was two teenagers, so you knew their motivation. The guy, the what was it called? The family with the injured daughter. You can kind of just remember all their motivations and everything. And I watched this movie today. I don't really remember many things about the characters that stood out.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that, honestly, they were that important. Like, if you watch the movie, you're kind of like, oh man, it's like you're trying to put yourself there. Like, oh, if I was in the mall, this would happen. Or you were in that apartment building. Because I remember even growing up watching this movie, I was like, I don't care one bit about any of these characters. In fact, they can all die and be fine. With that, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Isn't
it's
that
like
kind
more
of the
about
problem,
putting yourself
though?
into situations.
What?
It's like more like it makes you think like what you would do in those situations. I think the experience is probably more important with this movie than the characters,
Yeah.
which it depends on if you're like a character first person or like story and action. Because I mean, I'd say that this more falls in line with that.
I'd agree with that for sure.
Do
Because
you
I
think
think. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go.
Oh, it's fine. Because I mean, like you said, like in Night, you could, like you were listing off all the people. You get that. With this one, it's like how you were saying. It's more of the experience, and then Day goes back to kind of the characters because, like, you like these people, you hate these people, and then who doesn't want to see Bub? And he's the smart zombie. Like his name is Bub. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah.
Does he look good? Does he look convincing? Like, is he?
Oh yeah, he's got wrinkles and his like mouth moves weird. I mean, he doesn't really talk, but he puts, if you've seen the 4K art that they have up, because it comes out next week for it, and he has his headphones on and stuff. He literally listens to music, and and then you got to watch Land of the Dead, and that's a shit show, but it's fantastic.
Oh, I
to
really
see
love
him.
Land of the Dead. Actually, that movie kicks ass.
It's fun. It's so
Yeah.
terrible, but it's so fun.
Yeah, it's like
What
a
about
stupid
Return of the
movie,
Dead?
but it's like massively entertaining.
Yes,
Ooh.
yes, it is.
All right. Well, that's optimistic.
Army of the Dead.
What'd you say?
Army
That's
of the Dead.
the
Have you
Zack Snyder one.
Was that the one from like
Yes.
5 years ago?
Yeah, the
That was
one on
good.
Netflix.
I didn't love it, but
Is that supposed to be part of this like series?
No.
Probably
No, I don't
not.
think
seen? I
so.
think so.
Okay, interesting.
it's kind of its own thing.
I thought something that was strange about this situation was once these characters entered the mall, Roger and Peter, which is the black dude, and the dude who he's the two SWAT guys, they both have like really strange behavior amongst this chaos. They're both kind of like slap happy and erratic a lot of the time, and Peter is also kind of part of that as well. It's mostly Roger. Why do you think they act that way in this environment? What has caused them to be this? Because that's not normal at all, obviously.
Slipped into madness. And a bunch of zombies everywhere. I mean, it's bound to happen.
How do they slip that fast? I mean, it just happened.
Because they're egos. I mean, they're probably already like thinking they're cocky. Probably already like the big guy, especially. And they just let it all out and start
It's kind of like they were waiting for this
trigger
whole
happy.
life, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, I can finally.
Waiting to have an
Let it
excuse
out.
to
Yes. Exactly.
That's a good point. And they don't like have anybody to answer to, which is nice. They are the king.
Mhm.
They can
And they won't have
do
any
whatever they want.
consequences, whatever they, it's already, the world is already essentially over. So who's going to hold them accountable?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess one last question I have before we move to the next chapter in the chats. Are we supposed to, like, I felt like with the zombies here, in the first one, we talked about it a little bit here. They were intimidating, even though they were very slow and spread apart. In this, I had a very, very hard time taking them seriously. I just think they are completely unintimidating. And I think it's because everybody they're also normal looking, and they have these derp looks on their face. And they're ugly, but they're not ugly because they're zombies. They're ugly because they, the people just kind of like they dressed ugly and they just have these stupid, ugly expressions. They don't really look like zombies. And I'm totally cool with it not being super gory or whatever else. But they got one zombie right at the end of the movie, which we'll get to later. Why do you think creatively they decided to give us these really bland, sterile zombies? I mean, you got Tom Savini there, and he's the effects guru. Why didn't he go all out and give us some really interesting, like horrifying zombies?
Well, I was telling you while we were watching, a lot of the zombies that you see that look goofy are just like the ones that were just recently turned. They just recently turned. A lot of them, the ones that are already decomposed, the ones that have been there for a while, they look pretty cool. They still move slow as hell, but they look cool. Like the practical effects on them are, realistic ish. But you're right. I just can't. It just looks like they just slapped a bunch of
Purple
makeup,
paint.
purple paint on them, and just said, "All right, go at it." Nobody's an actor, but just go out there and
look at this. Come on.
It looks like a haunted house in a small town.
Oh gosh,
looks like an episode
the
of
local
Goosebumps
haunted
kind of.
house.
Yeah.
Well, back then, how many other zombie movies were made before this? This could have been just like one of the first ones that was made. So there was no real blueprint for it before.
No expectations.
Yeah.
Well,
The thing is, they got it
Still
right later in the movie.
Yeah.
But have you, probably morbid to ask, but I mean, have you ever seen like a freshly dead body?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're typically pretty pale and like clammy looking. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then when they start,
I guess these are pretty fresh, right?
But I will say,
true.
You said that they were purple. So in the 4K, they're actually more gray looking.
Oh.
So they do, and it's, to me, I feel like it had a lot to do with budget.
Yeah, it felt like a limitation.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what are you chewing on? Ugh, sorry. But I honestly think it has tons to do with budget. And it was like he wasn't given that, because if you watch other movies like later on that Tom Savini has done, well, even like Maniac that came out around that time, the amount of gore in that, I was just like, okay, you can tell they put all their money into this.
Yeah.
Everything else sucked, but here you go. That movie's wild, but
what is it
I
called?
honestly think it's called Maniac. Yeah, and
I've been meaning to watch that one.
It's not bad. You just have to get past the greasy man.
It's on Shudder, I think, right?
Yeah, but I prefer the remake on that one. Elijah Wood did a much better job.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's not as creepy.
I feel like budget or not, I just don't, you said this scared you as a kid, so I guess it did do its job. But when I look at these guys, until you see them eating people and tearing them apart, they're just not intimidating at all. Shouldn't that, what did you say? Did you say something?
Who was it?
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
No, I forget what I said. I was just making a comment about the zombie.
Well, if this, because I actually want to see if I could try to do this later. Since it's on YouTube, I could just take it from there. Though I want to put a black and white filter, because, as Luke was saying earlier on, though, it does hide certain things. So maybe in black and white, obviously we could see from here the hands are still pink. That's the strangest thing.
This is literally your local horror house with the high schoolers. They don't exactly know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to see if I can do this now with it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Nice. Well, let's get to the chats real quick, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. Let's see. Ian's got quite a bit to say today. Oh, our friend Brown Eyes of Mandalore. What's up, Brown Eyes? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Howdy, y'all. What's everyone's favorite zombie movie? Yeah, we went over that earlier. We got 28 Days Later. I like World War Z a lot.
Warm Bodies.
One. Ew, what?
Yeah, that was awful. Yeah.
Can I give you a foreign one that you probably haven't heard of?
Mm-hmm.
Dead Snow.
Dead Snow.
Oh. Dead Snow.
I have that on DVD and just never watched it.
Oh
Dang.
God, it is so fun. It is so fun. It's Nazi zombies. It's amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Time for that.
There you go, Brown Eyes.
Yeah.
See, Ian, he just knows movies so well. I absorb anything movies. That's how. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You literally do. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, Proctor's favorite zombie movie is Zombieland. I've heard good things about that.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a
Double
great
Tap,
movie.
right? And
no,
That's
Double Tap is awful.
one of
Never
my
watched
favorites.
Double Tap. Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
the worst
Shaun of the
sequel
Dead
ever.
too.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the
Stop
Dead.
that's
there.
a good one. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, Ian's asking, does the black character get killed off in this film? I haven't seen it. No, he doesn't.
No.
He survives. That's the first movie.
Yeah.
And that character is very heroic and admirable. He's awesome. You gotta love him. He's great.
The first one, Night of the Living Dead, that guy kind of screwed over the entire house if you think about it. Like, they were all just, chilling in the basement, and he comes like, hey, we should start doing all this stuff, and then everyone dies.
Well, they all, they fell through. They didn't really perform, right?
But they were all locked in a basement.
Yeah,
away from everything.
They would have been fine. They really would have been fine until those people came, because you know how the whole town was out killing them. Frickin' Ben just had to open his mouth and be like, "Let's go do this."
Yeah.
Damn it, Ben.
It's funny. Ian brings up, has anyone seen the trailer for Whale Fall? Yeah, that looks
Yes,
interesting.
I've been talking about it in the chat. I have literally been prepared for such a situation.
Ooh.
That's where a man gets swallowed by a whale and has to survive.
That stars the guy from Weapons, right?
Brolin? Good old Josh Brolin?
The crackhead.
Oh,
is he in this? Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
he's the star of it. He's going to be in the new Resident Evil.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God, what is that guy's name again? I can't remember.
Yeah, I definitely don't know. Huh. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to the next station here. This is where we get to this iconic picture.
Yes.
Very exciting. Yes. So, chapter 3, Paradise crumbles. Life inside the mall begins to sour. Boredom, cabin fever, and interpersonal tensions rise. Fran's pregnancy becomes a concern, and Roger grows reckless and quickly becomes a zombie. And he's, also dispatched of, and that ends up being a very fracturing moment. And under the weight of isolation and abundance, the group begins to fall apart. So it's funny. Like, each one of these chapters, when I summarize them, not much really happens in this movie. Like, in the mall, a lot of it is sort of situational. Like, there's not really many big, key actions or key conflicts that arise. It's all just sort of, we're around the mall, the same sort of things happen, characters talk to each other. Not too much is really explored, like, character wise or conflict wise. So, Roger's death here is a pretty big moment, and it changes a lot for the story, and we'll get to that in a minute. I felt like for this movie, this picture kind of sums up and sort of exemplifies what this film is. And I'm kind of wondering if you guys see this image as being sort of a potent representative of what the film represents. Do you see that? Do you see this picture being sort of like a key image that kind of showcases what this film's all about? And if so, how would you describe it?
I think it does, because there is just that moment of, because you knew this guy was going to die for a long time, but then it's finally happened. I now have to kill my friend that I've been with this whole time. So I think it definitely does define. I think it looks a little silly when you stare at it for a while, but I think it definitely does define the movie a lot.
Yeah. You got any
It
thoughts?
is just a very classic image.
Isn't it weird how this is I've seen this so many times, and I've always wondered what it was. Like, what do you say about this? And it's kind of a spoiler. Like, obviously something bad happens to him. I was a bit surprised. I think what sticks out to me about it is, obviously he's a zombie here, but unlike all the other zombies, he has quite a bit of expression here. You know what I mean? This is sort of like a human. This is like the guy we've been following, and he sort of has this, obviously, this horrified, despairing expression, he's still there, but obviously he's not. He's a zombie. But this is the first time in the two films where we see that, right? Like a remnant of humanity expressed. And it's so weird. Like, the situation here is obviously he's been dead. Stranger enough, he had a blanket over his body and his head, and Peter was just sitting maybe 7-8 feet away from him with a pistol, waiting for him to wake up. And he knows he kind of understands what's going to happen here when the blanket comes down, and he's looking at Peter right now as Peter has his pistol aimed at him. And this is the face of a guy like, oh crap, I don't want to die. Please don't kill me. But he's a zombie. It's like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I don't think there's ever been anything like that in a zombie film again, right? I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Someone like a zombie so conscious like this, but I guess you guys are saying then in the next one there's a character that actually has his wits about him.
I have a theory almost. So this shot right here, I think that this is what everyone in the mall and all the characters in the movie see the zombies as. You know, they probably just didn't have enough money to use all this makeup on all of, like, everyone else. Like we see them as like people, but I think that they want the viewers to now see the point of view of the characters and be like, oh, this is why they're terrified of all these zombies. I'm pretty sure that's not the case, but that could be a good budget strategy or marketing strategy.
I think you're totally right. Yeah, I think that's a great point,
because it is terrifying. I mean, that is a scary looking zombie right there.
Yeah, this is a detailed glimpse into what like all of them actually look like. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Griffin, were you going to say something before we move on?
I don't think I have anything else to really say about it. But it is like very much one of like the iconic shots from the movie. And it's kind of funny too, because it's not even like a really poppy or like action focused image or anything like that. But I don't know. There's just something like subtle about it. That is an interesting, thought and representation.
Yeah.
The change.
Yeah, definitely. And this isn't even like a character like who really cared about this guy before, you know, like we said, nobody cares about any of these leads at all. And then you see this and it's like, man, this makes you like him a little more. It's really strange. And it doesn't, it's kind of almost inexplicable. It's very strange. How do you guys think, if you noticed, how do you think his death shifted the tone and momentum for the film going forward?
Well, I feel like they finally realized that they're really not invincible.
Yeah, it feels like the reality sets in that they very much like can and probably will die.
Yeah, it's like it's no longer safe because one of their own has gotten. Yeah, it's just, and then watching him pretty much turn. They didn't really watch anybody else turn. It was kind of like they were already zombies and they were just zombies. They weren't a person, so to speak. But now it's like, oh, okay, well, we know this guy. And now you get to watch him turn into it. It's like, it's just like, it kind of just depletes your hope.
Yeah. And it like pulls down like the cognitive dissonance they probably had before. Because it's like you said, it's easy to separate it when these other people you don't know are getting bit or infected or killed. But then like once the group is actually impacted, then that just completely changes the equation.
Yes.
And no matter how much you dislike somebody or how you think somebody's so annoying, no matter what, when they turn, it just you can no longer talk to that person. Because I'm gonna make a reference to Zombieland really quick. Main character Jesse Eisenberg, he said that he was just always an introvert. He didn't like people, but then when humanity left, he said he sort of just misses people now. So
that's interesting.
Sad,
yeah. Huh. I thought it was interesting how they were all so comfortable in this environment, and then this happens. It's like, oh crap! And then he was the optimistic one, and then you have the bitter girl who is really totally out of it now, as is everybody else. It's not just her. But his optimism kind of countered that energy well, and now that's missing. And Peter, this was his friend, and they just met each other, but they got along pretty well. and his character changes quite a bit. You know, he's no longer the optimistic fun guy. You know, he is strictly business, and he isolates himself after this. You know, he doesn't really, he's not hamming it up with Steven and Fran at all like he was before. And I thought that was kind of interesting how this death really kind of changed his character and you know, made him even more level-headed. So, and that's what the group needed at the end of the day. What did you guys think? I thought what was so disorienting, I hate to say it, I just think there's quite a few elements here that just didn't really work for me. It made it hard to follow along at times. And I think what was like one of the bigger irritants was the soundtrack. I thought it was the worst soundtrack I've ever heard for a movie. I don't think I've heard one that is so it makes no sense. Why is it here? It's like we're in the circus, you know, and all these upbeat tunes left and right the whole movie, and it doesn't fit. What can you guys explain this? Like, why is it there? Is this supposed to be? Are we supposed to just take a lot of these sequences in just a lighthearted fashion like the tunes are, or is this just done incorrectly? Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
You need to watch some more Italian horror. You will understand, because if you watch an Argento movie, so in Giallo movies, the scores are always wild. It's like, what? That's not matching to what is happening on the scene. But sometimes they're just so good. Like in like Suspiria, for instance, you have Goblin doing it, and Goblin did a bunch of scores for this time.
Goblin?
Yeah, that's what he goes by.
Okay.
He might have done this. I don't remember. But when you watch Italian horror, and then the fact that you know that Argento is attached to this, and he's like one of the biggest names in Italian horror, it makes more sense because it is very odd. It's like an odd choice. Because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, okay. Even when I was a kid, I was like, that's kind of off. Because when you watch Night of the Living Dead, it's not at all. It's more like unsettling, you know, mixes with it well. But this one is like, it was trying to, it almost felt like, I don't know, since you guys are younger, but in the 90s, when you would go to the malls and in department stores, they'd have these upbeat, weird songs like that. They wouldn't actually be songs. It would just be things that would be playing in the background. And then they finally started to play more. And then you just have to hear Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus.
Taylor Swift. Oh.
No thanks, but that's the only thing I can think of.
I kind of see it too as like, I feel like the movie's weirdly kind of satirical and has kind of like a satirical edge to it. And that's kind of how I interpret some of the tonally like weird things about it. Like the guy on the blood pressure machine and like things like that, where it's like, what was that about?
The good old biker gang.
It has to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biker gang, there's nothing serious about it. It's almost like a spoof. It just seems like there's so much of this movie that, you know, it just doesn't seem to take seriously. And I just don't know. I don't know what to think. Am I supposed to think this is like kind of a comedy, like a horror comedy or a thriller comedy? Or is it like, are these like silly moments? Are they accidents? Are they supposed to be silly? Are they supposed to be, you know, off-putting in kind of a comical fashion? I can't tell. I don't know. But it sounds like it is on purpose.
Yeah, like I think they have some like kind of strangely jarring things. Like I said, because it's kind of layered in a little bit of like irony or satire.
Yes, for sure.
Your doggy looks nice.
I know. Great. That's what I was laughing at.
Oh,
I just looked
funny.
at him.
He just keeps moving.
Here he comes.
Oh, is he's a beagle mixed with something?
No, he's just a beagle.
Oh, he's just a beagle. Oh, he's big. Oh,
you know,
he's
a lot smaller in person, honestly.
I
don't know why he looks so big on the camera.
That's funny. Nice. Do you guys think, before we move on to the final chapter here into the chat, do you guys think we spent too much time farting around the mall? I felt like, there was, I like the idea of, sort of touring the mall and having an adventure in the mall after hours. I think all of us picture and kind of fantasize about what would it be like to, have a sleepover at the mall or be open and have the power to take and use anything you want for yourself. I like that it touched on that and explored that in detail. But at the same time, I felt like we wasted a decent amount of time just kind of farting around. Do you feel that same way, or was it just enough?
I don't know. In the remake, there were eventful scenes in the mall. Like there were scenes that stood out, like tragic scenes between the characters, or like crazy scenes between a zombie and a human. But in this, we got the same thing over and over. There was like a crowd of zombies at the glass door. And then there was a crowd of zombies at the glass door. And then there was a crowd of zombies at the glass door. Like, that was all that really happened. Like, it's dull and, boring. And so, no, it wasn't the length of time they were in there. It's just how they played it and how they filmed it.
I think
a little repetitive.
I thought they wasted too much time not securing everything. I thought most of the bulk of the movie would be, okay, we have, 40 entrances to 40 glass windows to bar up. Like, how do we get all these things figured out? And then I see later on, like, oh, they're having dinner and stuff. Like, I think there's a lot of other things you guys could be doing in the meantime.
That could have made for interesting material to follow too. Like, that's a great way to explore them all as well. Trying to, barricade all these strange exits and entrances in the mall. You get to visit the different spaces, and they'll come with their own like strange environments they have to vault through, and who knows what you could do with that. That could have been interesting. I also think that here you go, Ashley.
Oh, I was just gonna say, kind of like the 2000s gets a bad rap, like the horror, because they did a bunch of remakes and stuff. Sorry, he's just trying to get up on me. But, he's ridiculous. But what cracks me up is if you look at the movies that they remade, it's just kind of like he wants to get in my lap. That's what he's trying to do. Get out of here. But they took the good of the originals, like in Dawn of the Dead. They took a lot of good things, and then Zack Snyder was kind of just like, hold my beer, let me make it 10 times worse, and let's make the zombies run type deal. So I think there's a lot of good to this movie, but I can totally see why somebody thinks this movie is boring. Like, I don't get mad when people tell me, oh, that movie sucks. I'm just like, okay, no, that's fine, fair enough. I think a lot of movies that a lot of people like suck, so trade-off, right?
Can you think of any movies we've talked about that suck?
I don't know if you've talked about it, but I think that Jaws is legitimately the most overrated movie of all time.
Oh, hey, that's your opinion.
Hey, no.
Wow. Some opinions can be wrong. It's all right.
Luke is wearing a Jaws blue shirt.
Yeah.
I've tried so many times, and I'm like, people saying that's Spielberg's best, and I'm just going,
no, Spielberg's best is Disclosure Day. Duh.
Yeah.
Come on now.
That's the best.
Haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm not hearing too many good things about it. I think
oh no, really?
I know. Yes, I'm hearing terrible stuff.
Oh man, I was hyped for that.
You mean the movie that he said is going to make you question your faith in God?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like, Steven, why would you say that,
said that?
now?
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
A wild
Do
claim.
you want people to see your movie?
I don't think any movie would do that.
Dude,
it's
that
a movie.
movie's not even going to convince me to believe in aliens.
No. It's a shame. We need old Spielberg. We need him back. Not old man Spielberg. We need old Spielberg. We have old man Spielberg. It's not working too well, I guess. I think watching this, it makes me want a Dawn of the Dead video game adaptation so bad. There's so much potential here. It could be so fun with your friends, team of 4. You could play as these characters. That would be so fun.
It would.
That's basically what
They
that
have
is.
a game, Dead Rising.
Dead
What is it
Rising
called?
is so
Dead
fun.
Rising. They even have a disclaimer on the very beginning of the game that says that we did not copy any other materials because it just takes place in a mall and there's a gun store and everything.
This is a
And
game.
that game's so fun.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
on Xbox 360.
Jackson, are you gonna be the girl?
I'm the girl.
Yeah. Play
I'm
the
the
girl.
insufferable girl.
Proctofile says Left 4 Dead 2. That was a great game.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh
was
yes. I love those games. I still play
They're so
them.
good.
Half-Life,
Like the same
you know.
setup too. Like it is like 4 characters like
Mhm.
traversing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
zombies.
Left 4 Dead 2 is the best.
Yeah,
Love
I didn't play the
game.
first one. I played the second one. Really loved
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Zombie Army Trilogy is a good Nazi zombie game too.
Half-Life.
Yeah.
World War
technically,
just sent
yeah.
me some pictures. I'm going to try to put them up here. They're pretty cool. You want to tell people about them real quick?
Oh yeah, I just went on and just found some pictures of the movie and just put it on a black and white filter to see if it, if it hides any imperfections. I think it does a lot better in black and white.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull these up. Yeah, these are pretty cool in black and white,
Yeah, like
even
you
though they're
can.
super
Yeah, that looks
blurry.
better.
Yeah, look at that. That's way scarier.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you some more. So that's one. Here's another one. Ew.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
when
that's
they're
way
ripping-
worse.
Yeah, like they're ripping the guy's guts out. It looks scarier. I
Oh
think.
man, look at this. Oh man, that is terrifying.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Let's see this one.
There's one more too.
Yeah. Wow, look
Right?
at that. That's so much better.
That's just what 5 seconds of just doing an edit. I didn't even do the sharpness or anything like that either. That's just black
Wow.
and white filter.
That's
It's much
great.
better.
It
Sweet.
looked pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Those are way better. Psh, see, look at that. Easy work. Here, let's get to some of these chats real quick and then we'll move on. Oh, Proctofile, member for 3 months. Ashley, I'm sure you've seen The Sadness, right?
Yeah, and
The
no offense,
Sadness.
I hope you don't like it or love it because I absolutely hated that movie.
Was it a happy film?
It's really happy.
That was one of the most it grossed me out so much. It was almost like watching The Human Centipede.
Ew.
Speaking of sadness, I know Papa Pumpkin's in the chat. I looked up Manchester by the Sea, just a description of it.
Oh.
Yeah, that looks like the saddest movie ever made.
It's very uplifting. It's a really good movie though.
Like, what's
It's
this
not
supposed to
uplifting.
read it? It's like, this is not the thing to read at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No. Stop.
Y'all are into some interesting material, that's for sure. I've never heard of this. Let's see. Proctofile likes Left 4 Dead. I've heard of that one. I've never played it.
It's
Very fun.
Let's see. Yeah. Papa Pumpkin, he's making a comment on this picture. This is me in bed being forced to watch a Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Dude, it hit $1 billion. I heard the new one. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't heard of a
Oh,
single
yeah,
person
finally
that's
made
seen it, but
I saw.
was it good?
I saw it.
I took my niece and nephews to it, and they really like. I mean, I didn't mind it.
Okay.
I
You have a
was just
whole
like,
you have a whole other view of it when you take your
Kids,
niece
yes.
or your kids.
That makes
yeah.
it better.
Yes, very.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. That's a shame. I couldn't. That first one was pretty disappointing to me.
I really like the first one, honestly.
Oh, really? I
I
didn't
haven't
mind
seen
it.
the
I
second
love-
one.
I had a
Yeah.
crazy experience though seeing Galaxy. It was like a really rowdy theater at like 10 o'clock opening night, and like everyone around me was like they had to be drunk or hammered or something, and they were like, this one guy screamed like slurs at Yoshi when he popped up.
Yoshi didn't deserve that.
Yeah. Caught a stray.
Nice. Poor Yoshi. Here, let's move on to the final chapter here. Oh, and our man Tom Savini,
There
he shows
is.
up. This was my
Oh,
first
I
time
thought-
ever seeing him in
I thought
something.
that was George Romero. Now it's not him?
That's Tom Savini, isn't it?
Oh, I
Yeah, that's
don't
Tom
know.
Savini.
Was he also in that? Oh, damn! What was the vampire one where they're at the strip club with George
Vampire
Clooney?
Diaries.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
That one, is that the same
Oh, my bad.
actor? The same guy?
Yeah, he's been in a ton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
If he's doing the effects, he's usually in the movie too. And he actually
Okay.
directed the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
Oh,
Good.
that was a good
You'd
one.
probably like that one more because Barbara isn't so
Useless.
pathetic.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
cared.
that too.
Like
Yeah,
they
I
she,
don't-
she was the main character and actually good at it.
oh, that's good. Total Girl Boss, much better.
It was different back then. You could actually have a woman that actually did something, and it wouldn't be a girl boss back then.
I'm trying to think. What is it? We had a movie we talked about recently and it had a great female character. I can't remember what it is, but just Griffin, when you plop on your chair, it sounds like you're
I know
bashing
like,
a bunch of cans together.
my chair is so rickety.
My chair, I'm always worried people will hear it because when I move, it makes a farting noise.
Yeah.
So I'm always. Do you guys ever hear that?
I didn't want to bring it up.
You haven't been
Are you
farting?
serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh gosh, I'm like, has this been happening? This
Jackson
whole
is
time?
passing gas over here.
Yeah, I just fart on the stream. Totally.
Go to the bathroom, Jackson.
Make
It's
No.
someone makes a compilation of every time you move and it fart sounds.
Gosh. I don't. Good. It doesn't pick it up. Good. Thank goodness. So yes, in the final chapter here, a gang of marauding bikers discovers the mall and launches a violent raid, tearing down the group's defenses very easily, by the way. And hundreds of zombies, they invade the space, but they don't really cause too much trouble for the raiders. And the survivors fight desperately as their sanctuary turns into a nightmare. Steven, he gets shot and quickly zombifies after a frantic attempt to escape fails. And with nothing else to lose, Fran pilots the helicopter and evacs Pete out of harm's way. And then it just kind of ends abruptly. Like, okay, we don't know what happens past that point.
With that
And I guess
stupid
that's
song.
kind of fine. Wait, is there a dumb song?
Yeah, it's like the it's like that clown song or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, it literally ended off with that song.
Oh,
Yeah,
what the heck?
it was awful.
Was it just like them using the mall soundtrack of it and just thinking that would have worked?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that shows you how disconnected we are because, I mean, we never grew up with those strange tunes at the mall.
Yeah.
Something I appreciate about this movie, I've loved touring the mall. It was so cool seeing the old mall. And I was just telling Luke about something simple that our mall used to have. It used to have by this H&M, there was just this, I don't know how you describe it. It's sort of like a bench. It's like a bench that is really, it's a large bench.
Oval,
and it's like
oval
an
bench.
oval.
Yeah.
And it has a big planter in the
Like
middle.
marble
It's kind of like a
seats.
terrarium. Yeah. And we just realized it's gone. Like we
Yeah,
used to remember that and sitting on it and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And it's been gone for at least a decade, and I haven't
while.
realized. Yeah.
And you kind of like it's a shame, like those sorts of things, kind of give character to the space. And this movie, the mall was awesome. It's like, man, I wish malls were still like this. I can't stand these modern malls, the modern
bunch
look.
of
It's so
kiosks and dumb signs everywhere now. And it's just claw machines.
Yeah, it was like one of those like monocultural things that kind of like died out a little bit.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well, whatever. That's how it goes. What are we supposed to make of these marauding bikers? Why do you think they treat the zombies and the chaotic situation as totally unthreatening?
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of the end of 28 Years Later Part 1 when all those guys in the jumpsuits jumped down.
Jimmies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me
Jimmy.
of those guys, like fearless, weird, savage. I don't know. And just start causing havoc.
Did you watch the second part of that?
No, not
No, I
yet.
didn't either.
I don't plan to.
The Bone Temple?
Yeah, it's actually really
Yeah.
good.
Bone Temple was awesome.
Yeah, haven't seen it yet.
It's very different than you probably like it more because it's more.
Yeah, I really didn't like the Part 1 at all.
Yeah,
It was
then
a
you
lot
would
of
probably
people
like
didn't.
Bone Temple.
Yeah.
It's like not that it's like more mainstream, but it's like more like I guess tonally consistent and
It's
I don't
less
know.
Danny Boyle, put it that way.
yeah.
I hope there's less naked alpha zombies. There was a lot of that.
Oh no, you get Samson this big ol' hog.
Well, he does put clothes on, remember? He
Yeah,
does,
he does.
he does put some clothes
There
on.
we go. All right, finally.
So it's not
Big
the whole
old
movie.
hog. Wow. Wow.
Was it essential to the plot? Like the director argued with the studios, like, yes, it's for the plot. You need to put this in there.
For the prosthetic,
Yeah,
probably.
the
Good
big
question.
old hog.
They were just like, you know what? We need some male frontal nudity for a change.
No, thanks. I'm not
No.
interested.
I mean, I'm even a chick, and I'm just kind of like, sir, please put that away. That's actually kind of frightening. Get away.
Yeah, it is horrifying. Yeah. Yeah, that sticks with you. That's what I remember about the movie. That's about it.
It's not good that all you remember from a zombie movie is a giant dick. Like
Hey, that's the movie's fault, man. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's
Luke,
not
when you
my
put your
fault.
hands up, was that the length of it you were trying to show us?
Yeah, it was
We
like,
had
it was
your
at
hands
least,
up.
I can't get in frame. It's like at least from my ceiling to the floor. It was massive.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's fair. These guys are sort of they're very obnoxious, and they don't take them seriously at all. I think like part of it too is like these guys, they were probably like a bunch of ruffians before, and now this time they finally kind of have that kind of laughing gas going for them because they're totally untested. They can do whatever they want. They've been waiting for this kind of situation themselves too, and they're sort of unbeatable. And I mean, how could anybody have a chance against them? Because there's so many of these dudes. They have all these motorcycles and they have tons of weapons, right?
Yeah.
So they really take advantage of this opportunity to take them all, but they flee pretty quickly, and it's kind of surprising. Like they didn't have that much opposition against them, but no, they bounced. So
yeah.
I guess also because Tom Savini's character died. I think he was the leader of the group. That might have been part of it, but I don't know. I thought, let me see if I can get a picture of him. One of my favorite parts of this was Steven's character and his death and zombification. I thought it was brilliantly done. I think he gave us a really great, intimidating zombie for once. And I thought he looked great. I thought his transformation was very good. He went out fighting. Why don't you think we saw more zombie characters like this? Why didn't we get more of that? And also, why do you think this was done so well?
It's got to be a budget thing because that does look. I had to do a double take of like, wow, that is really.
This is from the same movie.
Yeah,
like I said,
I think they put more effort into the main character's zombification.
I think that they were, like I said, we were saying earlier. I think that they were all supposed to look like this, but like the budget.
Well, and I think he's more bloody because he got swarmed.
Yes.
Unlike some of the other ones, they just got bit by one type deal.
Sick.
And the wrist or the leg.
Yeah, this dude got got eaten.
Yeah, he got massacred.
And his eyes too. Like, I mean, in the way he's standing, it looks like a zombie.
Yes.
Well, that was part of the thing too. He had a great zombie walk.
Yeah.
And he had this like really deathly vibe about him. And he was actually like, he felt like he was anxious to eat someone, unlike these other zombies that are just,
Because he's a trained actor.
Been in
that's
the movie,
why.
Jackson.
What'd you say? I was very talented. Why? I thought this final, like the climax here with the bikers. I thought it was silly that the team was even in the mall at this point anyway. Why did they think they could even stand a chance against the bikers? I mean, what was there, like 20 of them? There was 20 of them. They were well armed, and they saw them coming, and they didn't leave, which was weird. And there's only 3 of these guys left, and they really don't have any chance against them, but they didn't leave the mall right away. Why do you think they stood their ground and didn't like try to leave the situation? Because really it was hopeless at the end of the day, and they sort of got lucky, I guess.
Because what are the odds they're going to find a place with that much resource, all the resources in it outside of that place, and how long they would have to travel, by foot. They wanted to stand their ground because there was a small chance that they could overcome this and take these guys down and still have all because there's a large amount of food and, water in that place. So I don't think they wanted to give that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's perfectly it though. Just do you take your chances outside, exposed, which you don't even know how bad things got. They only know this world right now is, hey, this little plot of land on the mall where there's some zombies outside, but it could be way worse outside. There could be, just forgetting the zombies, imagine the amount of other biker and raider gangs out there that'll do whatever they want to you.
Yeah, and these guys are almost like, I'm pretty sure that they're almost exactly like Negan from The Walking Dead. Like they are, they want to, take over not just the zombies, but all of the other humanity and form some sort of cult.
I think called the Saviors. Was that their name? I think so.
Oh yeah,
Negan's group.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Yeah,
some of the
these
things like
guys are
that.
very similar. That's fair. Yeah, I liked. I think I said it earlier that even if they succeeded in this first defense, like, geez, they would probably come back again and make it way worse for them, and there would just be tons of people directed here. It's such a public landmark, especially in the 70s, right? Like, malls were probably really crazy back then. And like now, obviously not as much, but people would still think to go to the mall nowadays. So yeah, I can't even imagine how.
Especially they have gun shops in the mall.
Yeah, what a wild time.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember though, like the population was a lot less in the 70s than it was, say, today or even in the 2000s, because it's just kind of like once you make the population bigger with other people, you're going to have more people, kind of like how the remake did it. Like you had a bunch more people go. And in the 70s, because I mean, I've asked my parents, because they were alive then. And I'm like, was it really that different? They're, yeah. You didn't, like, there was people, of course, and that's obviously in a city, but it was never as populated as you would think it was. Kind of like when you go to a city now. I mean, I don't live in one. I don't ever plan to, but when I go into them, I'm just like, get me out of here.
Too loud.
Too many people. Because I seriously think, I'm like, dude, if something happened, I mean, I don't want to be around these people. No, thank you.
Yeah, if you're in the heart of New York City during an apocalypse, that's gonna be that's gonna be a problem.
I'm so glad I'm not
Dude,
on that side.
If you're in New York City and the Knicks win a championship, you're in. If they win or lose, the city's going down.
Heaven forbid people have other opinions than you or like a team.
I saw some New Yorkers jump a guy wearing a bad jersey.
Yes, he was wearing the Spurs jersey, and they jumped him.
They'll take his.
They do. Yeah, they get psychotic. My buddy got punched in the face because he said the Yankees suck.
Oh, he had it coming.
After the Eagles won a championship, I watched a guy on a live stream. He was eating poop off the ground that came out of a horse.
Oh,
he was that excited.
Fans literally flip cars and they act like completely psychotic.
This is why I don't do sports. This is weird.
Yeah,
That's just weird culture to me.
Good thinking. Why do you guys like? Something I thought was kind of surprising here in the end was Peter. Let me put a picture of him up. I haven't used this one yet. So handsome. Peter, he not really, but he's cool though. He's a nice dude. Peter, in the end, obviously very very helpful character, leader, and he kind of like he was sort of at his wit's end, and he wanted to die, even though it was he wanted to die and just let the zombies take him there in the end, or he was going to shoot himself, but he obviously changes his mind last minute. But, after everything he's been through, he's been very helpful. He's done a lot of good things to help the group. He just kind of had it, and he was willing to just sort of fall down and just kind of end his own life. Why do you think that was the case, given that he had such a clear exit out with the girls, with the girl on the helicopter?
I didn't like it at all. I felt like if you wanted to explore a scene like that, it should have been way earlier in the movie, because like you said, you can just escape. Yes, you guys have dealt with a lot of these things, and I know the walls are closed in, but you can still fight and win. So I was a little bit confused and was glad that that's not how it ended for him.
Yeah, I just saw it as he temporarily became hopeless and then considered it, but then changed his mind.
Yeah. I thought it was just weird. It just didn't seem like it didn't make much sense. That came out of nowhere.
It felt like a deleted scene that somehow slipped into the main cut of it, because there really was no reason for it at all. It wasn't like he was the last man standing and he's trapped in a closet and there's just 1,000 of them out there and he can't do anything about it. It's like, you can just go and you'll be fine.
Do you guys think that there is a hero to this story? And if there is it Peter? Is it somebody else?
It would have to be Peter.
You have to bring it.
I don't think there's a hero.
Yeah, I just see it as just characters trying to survive and like making choices.
But in the remake, there was a hero in the very end. This dude, he was very loyal throughout the whole movie, but as they were about to, right, I think it was Michael. Right before they were about to escape, he knew he had been he was bitten, so he held the ground and try to keep the zombies away from the boat as they were taking off. So at least remake had a hero.
So many remake spoilers. I love it.
Yeah, you weren't gonna see it.
You should.
Yeah,
it was actually a really great one.
Yeah,
I'm good. Thanks.
Do you feel like this was a logical conclusion for the movie, or
no?
could it just? Yeah, that too. I felt like it could have just kept going on and on and on at this point.
Yeah, no, I feel like it didn't have much closure to it.
I felt like, oh, we're on the helicopter. It's like, yeah, but things are not good.
Yeah,
I like the only way you could end that though is having them die or like find a cure or something. So then, like, if you don't end the apocalypse, then I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like tough to think of an ending that would kind of feel like it's more in line with closure. Like, but I guess the uncertainty though I think was on purpose. But yeah, it did kind of feel like it just could vaguely just keep going and
yeah, I don't know how else. You're right. If they didn't die, then how else do you cut it off? Like by the end of the movie, like the last 10 minutes, there's not really anything else they could do.
Yeah.
Well, at least Night ended in a pretty good way, where it was they all died, but it was such a bleakness going to the after credits of it. But not every movie could do that. It looks like.
No.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's anything that this movie did better than Night of the Living Dead?
No.
I feel like
not even close.
Night of the Living Dead did better than this movie.
There's a big gap between Night of the Living Dead and this one. I think. I don't even think that this one comes close to the remake for me.
I agree.
What is it? I don't know. Yeah, is there anything?
I mean, looking at the practical effects back then, it's like, one of your favorite movies, Dark Crystals. Like, you have to love the practical effects of it. Like,
top 5.
Yeah, it just seems like a movie that kind of started so much of a zombie trend after it came out. Because before this, was there really a lot of zombie movies that were even out? No, right? Like, this is where it started. So
no, this was so like. You had a 10-year gap basically between Night and Dawn, and then you had what was it, like 6 years or something like that between the Dawn and Day, and then the 80s. That's when you started getting more zombie movies, and then you've of course got Return of the Living Dead, because the other writer, what was it for this one or Night of the Living Dead? I can't remember. Because that's what this one was going to be, was going to be called that. So then they made a deal that, because he wanted to write his own sequel to it, so he went Dawn of the Dead and just made it a Dead trilogy. And then the other guy went and did Return of the Living Dead, and that's where you get the brains, zombies brains.
Huh, cool.
Have you ever watched that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to watch that one.
Yeah. Ooh, all right. That's farther down the line.
You should watch it in July, because it's a 4th of July movie, actually.
Can you give a major spoil that movie before he sees it, though?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. Bad Luke. Sabotaging me.
I'll just tell you the whole plot right now.
Yeah, just say the ending and then call it a night.
All right, let's
Is
see
it
what the
where
chat has to say
humanity is
here.
actually the bad guys and it's not just the zombies?
Oh, look at this. Horror with Nads. I met Tom Savini back in my effects day.
That's
Wow,
cool, Nadia.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Sweet. Did you give him a nice big hug? He looks like a very huggable dude.
It's the mustache.
He has an amazing, it's the mustache, yeah. He has an amazing collection. I saw on YouTube, like a tour of his collection. My gosh, just like all the masks and such and statues. Wow, it's sweet. That's how I first got introduced to him. I've seen him pop up at so many conventions.
Yeah, I
But,
see
yeah,
him
this
at
is
like all of them. I've never met him, but I probably would want to stop by his booth.
When was the last time you went to a convention, Griffin? Has it been a while?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't been in a year and a half to one. Damn. Just like I'm getting like flooded with all these weddings, and it's just
yeah.
just cleaning my pocketbook.
Man, that sucks. You know, something I like about Griffin, follow him on Instagram, everybody, GM Light Horror. I always liked your Instagram and seeing who you met. You met a lot of cool horror actors.
Yeah. But
Sweet.
fortunately, not as of late.
Ah, those weddings. Ugh. No thanks. I don't like weddings. Let's see. First of all, how are they going to tie in the live action Legend of Zelda though? Yeah, tie it into the Star Fox movie and Mario Bros. That's going to be weird.
That's easy. You could just have them go through, Portal, and now we're cartoonish. It's stupid that they're going with live action, but it's a very easy thing to change at the end. It's like, magic wand, we're cartoon now.
Star Fox is not really live action.
No, Legend of Zelda is going live action.
Live
That
action,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, there's no way those are being tied.
Yeah, Star Fox is in the
No,
Galaxy movie.
we're going towards Super Smash Brothers. That's where all this is leading to.
They said it wasn't, and I'm just.
I don't care
"No
what they
shit."
say. You're
Right?
not making all the movies if you're not going to lead us into the Super Smash Brothers.
I know you have to.
Just
That's like
printing
That's a
money.
$2 billion movie.
Yeah,
No,
we have
way
Donkey
more.
Kong Country, but I don't know if that'll lead us to Smash Bros. Unfortunately.
Donkey Kong.
Oh, Ian says he misses going to the mall food court.
I
You
still go.
Can.
I still
So
go.
fun.
Yeah, I
Still
like
go.
getting the Chinese restaurant samples. That's my favorite part.
Just walk by, just
Yeah,
keep taking
I know.
samples.
I came on this guy. I put on a hat like later on, and I walked by, and they were like, "Hey, you want some more?" So that's
Shave the beard,
Oh,
take some more.
Proctophile. He misses the malls. Malls were awesome before the internet.
They were.
It
They
is
did.
sad reading that and saying, "Yeah, absolutely." It was a different time back then.
That's sad.
It really was.
Nowadays, I'd probably head straight to a Walmart or Costco. Yeah.
Ooh,
Say
Costco, man.
Costco over Walmart all day.
Get
They got
your
everything.
slice of pizza. Get your chicken bake.
Yeah, get the chicken bake. No,
Get your chicken bake.
yeah, the cookie.
So, all right, what's the consensus, everybody? Is it recommend? Do we recommend George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead?
I can't believe I'm saying this,
1978.
but I recommend.
Oh,
I feel like it's essential. You
Yeah,
have to watch it
That's
I
only
definitely
at
reason.
least
recommend it.
once.
especially if you're like a
I
horror
don't-
movie fan. This feels like a pivotal piece of
Yes.
horror history that,
Mm.
yeah, I definitely wouldn't skip.
It's one of
I
the
don't know.
original
I-
zombie movies.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence here. It's because it does have a lot of history to it, but if you're ranking your all-time zombie movies, where does this go?
oh.
Oh, it's
That's-
in my top 10.
Yeah, but how low on the score of top 10 we're talking? If it's
I
like an
guess
8, then
That's messed up.
I think it actually was an 8 because I ranked all the zombie movies on my Letterboxd at one point,
Wow.
and it was like 8 or 9, something like
Why
that.
do you like zombie movies so much?
Because they're genuinely the only things outside of demons that can scare me. Because I mean, can you imagine like a human eating you?
Yeah.
Because
No,
she's
thank
the
you.
zombie girl. Duh.
You know it. To be fair though, this name was just my gamer tag
Oh,
when I used to game.
hmm.
See,
When I
I
used to
don't like
play
that.
Call
I
of
was-
Duty.
I was
You're a big
hoping it would be
gamer.
like a Batman situation where you embrace the thing that you feared the most.
Well, it was a little
Ooh.
bit of both because I was like in a heavy zombie phase when I started playing Call of Duty. So,
Hmm. Oh,
and then you have zombies in Call of Duty as well. So I'm just
yeah.
like,
The JFK zombie.
Brawler, what
Gods.
would your name be if you were the Batman? Embrace the fear.
What would my name be?
Yeah, because Batman named himself Batman because of his fear of bats. Like for me, I would be Mr. Fantastic Foxman because that movie freaked me out as a child. I have
Oh,
watched
it
that
is
movie
weird.
so many times that now
Movie
I've
fan.
gotten rid of the fear.
that's great.
It's not a scary movie, man.
It's not. It just looks freaky.
That's
to
a
me.
good one.
It's the
I like that
animation
one.
is weird though.
Yeah.
Digital
Love it,
media
man.
man.
Wes Anderson. I don't like Wes Anderson.
Streaming media man.
Yeah, digital media.
Stre-
only,
streaming,
man.
yeah, that's literally me.
Yeah.
Streaming movie. Yeah,
Not
streaming
in mint
media man.
condition box, man.
I'd be the opposite. I'd be the opposite of Wilkie's movies and music. That would be my evil persona or my
Evil
Batman,
Loki.
whatever you want to call it, because I hate streaming and I'm afraid I'm terrified of streaming.
I think I'll be Marvel Man.
Yeah, you better be Marvel, man. You should fear Marvel. Fear what
really
it's
quick.
done.
Really quick, I like to. I just thought of this. This is kind of a weird comparison, but this movie, Dawn of the Dead, is almost like the Titanic. It was like huge, like the world's largest ship. It was crazy, and we still kind of look at it like that, like nowadays. Like even though these cruise ships are like 10 times larger, you still look at the Titanic like, whoa, that's pretty big, for 1912. So.
No, I see that.
Comparison.
Yeah,
You're saying that for like zombie films, or
yeah. The Titanic is like old zombie films.
That's
it's like
true.
you still have respect for it, and even though
very
it's
good.
tiny.
Luke, you've impressed me today. I think you were the sharpest you've been.
Oh,
today.
thank you. Out of 61 weeks, I appreciate it.
This is definitely the most Luke I've ever seen you jump into
It's
something.
been good.
I'm glad I made it after a year and a half.
You're finally there. It took you 61 episodes.
Yeah.
So multiply that by 2. I'd say average the Stranger about 2
120,
hours. Yeah, so a lot of hours.
It's about time.
Nice. Yeah, but all right, everybody. I guess we all barely recommend Dawn of the Dead, 1978, George A. Romero. Check it out. I think it's worth a watch one time. Brawler recommends you watch it one time, skip one little thing, but other than that, it's an enjoyable enough movie. It's part of history, like everybody said. So yeah, check it out. But we appreciate you all for joining us today, and I appreciate my wonderful panel. Thank you guys for joining. It was great having you on again. Griffin, good to have you back on. Man, it's been a while. It's been a while, so it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us again, man. Offering your horror expertise, as you always do. Very good. And Ashley, I'm glad you were able to join us again. It wasn't, not a very long layoff. You were here just a few weeks ago, so I'm glad you
game for it anytime.
Yes. Oh, great. That's good to know. I'll remember that. And World War Joe, always good having you, my friend.
Yep, happy to be here.
Time. Yeah, but that's it for us, everybody. Be sure to check everybody out in the description below. All their links are down there. Show them some support. Give them a sub. It's encouraging, people. It's encouraging. And it's always good to see what everybody's up to, including this channel. If you liked what we had to say and you want to see more, you can sub to Box Office Brawler. Next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live every week. We are going to be discussing Children of Men, so a very different film. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Gen X Man returns. Ooh,
yes.
Gen X Man returns.
Him.
The great Gen X Man returns. So that's going to be fun. We'll see you guys all next week. We appreciate you. And never forget, give him the Duke and give him the dog. Peace out, guys.
What kind of person are you? Are you the kind that sees signs, sees miracles? Or do you believe that people just get lucky?